Yeah.
Oh my God.
Welcome back, folks. Episode 29 of the Wrinkled Podcast.
Yeah.
My name is Morgan. This man to my right and down under is Hunter.
Hey.
Man, be holding me up. He's like Atlas.
Listen, he is not my son, but I will raise this roof.
Gotta love it, folks. All right. So I just saw a cool Reddit question. And it was, when you turn 18, there's a single adjective to describe you.
Mm-hmm.
And from that day, that adjective influences your life. So if you choose intelligent, it magnifies your intelligence by 10 times. If you choose fast, it makes you 10 times faster.
Yeah.
What would your adjective be?
That's a good one, man.
Yeah. And you really any adjective, and it influences just every part of your life.
I don't know. The first thing that came to my mind was like hearty.
Hearty.
Hearty. I don't know why.
I wonder how that would influence things.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like I said, I don't know.
My gut was lucky.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. At first, I was like, well, what about, omniscient or something like that? But then I'm like, no, lucky. Because then you just walk. I mean, everything works out for you. You know? I think that'd be a good one.
Or what if it just magnified your luck so much, but even that was what if you only had 1% and then you have 10% luck now, or something like that?
That's true.
Because I mean, what is the inherent human luck?
Well, I guess it depends on the context. Okay, you've got a 50-50 chance on a coin toss. Now that's magnified 10 times. So it's 50 and then 50 of that and then 50 of that and 50 of that. So 10 times into 50% and your luck is, it's getting
but
close.
it's not even 50-50 though. It's like 47.9 or something
Oh,
like that.
that's true. It is 49-51.
Because of the chance for it to land on the side.
Well, you have a slightly higher chance of it landing on the side that you start with.
Yes.
So if it's heads on top, I remember we did the math in calc one time. Like my teacher, he was like real life Sheldon. Watching him work, you could tell his brain was like going a million miles an hour.
Young Sheldon specifically.
No, and he was so much fun, but just out of nowhere, he'd be like, you know what? Let's calculate which is the longest day by minutes of the year. And then not like the date, but let's calculate how much longer each day gets until the longest day, and then how much shorter it gets until the shortest day. Just random shit like that every once in a while. So on a coin toss, you'd be a lot luckier. Winning the lottery, even 10 times the luck. I mean, that's huge compared to everyone else.
It's like that guy who was in Australia. He won the lottery, had like a heart attack or got in a car crash or something like that. And on his way home from either the doctor or something like that, he bought another lottery ticket that he won. I'm like, that's, I mean, if you had luck like that, every time you step into anywhere, it's just be like, hey, this is the best possible outcome for you in this place or something.
Right. Oh, you like every restaurant you go into, you're our 1,000th customer. You get a free meal.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or stop a robbery and, I guess that could be.
Or like all the YouTube giveaways. Like, oh, comment down below and I'll give away to one. And you just win every single one.
That would actually be nuts. Fucking any raffles, any.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, that's actually crazy to think about.
Just turn into Domino in real life.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that after posing this question. I thought about every X-Men is supposed to be like a mutation.
Mm-hmm.
But that specific mutation is so otherworldly. Like a lot of the X-Men's powers you can think of in terms of biology from the body, like Wolverine's healing factor. Okay, his body has a mutation where it heals extra fast. Magneto, our bodies have we emit an electromagnetic field. You can't do anything with it, but we do that. And so he just has the ability to manipulate his and others. Luck.
Yeah, but
what does that translate to?
It's also been shown that And I think this was even the case for Wolverine for a long time, where like they are mutations to humans, but like they're connected to some other planet somewhere. Like Cyclops' vision is like
A portal.
a portal to a dimension that is just strictly force. You know,
Yeah,
like a force. So every time he opens his eyes, it's just a portal. And I know, I thought I remember that's how Wolverine's was, and even Deadpool's is like that, where it's like a massive meat planet that just constantly just keeps regenerating, and that's where he gets his like healing factor from.
that'd be
You know,
hilarious.
like I could have
Huh.
swore that was the case, at least for Deadpool.
Well, I also know he's cursed by death to not die. Or no, sorry,
Yeah,
he's cursed by Thanos to not die.
Thanos. Yeah.
Um, interesting. Yeah, and yeah.
So maybe that's just the mutation is like
Hmm.
getting an extra portal. Like there's a portal where it's just everything's lucky everywhere, and that's just like the gene is somehow connects or something. I don't know. I
Interesting.
don't think that's ever.
Or maybe she's like a conduit for. So think about the Force in Star Wars. You know, the Jedi and Sith are conduits for the Force. The Jedi
Mm.
let it flow through them. The Sith, mold it. Maybe Domino is like a conduit for another dimension's universal force
Or
that's able to just manipulate everything.
maybe she just doesn't have bad luck at all. Maybe she just only has just regular luck, no bad luck. You know,
Interesting.
to where like nothing negative just ever affects her
I mean,
on
I
the
feel
luck
like that's the
scale.
same thing though.
Yeah, but like, is it the same thing? It's like, oh, I'm slipping on a banana peel versus like, hey, the guy coming to kill me slipped on a banana peel. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Could you
like that
imagine?
would be her anti luck like field like stepping in. You know,
Interesting.
I don't know how her
Hmm.
power works at all, but
It's cool to think about though.
yeah, especially certain like the Darwin
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
like become anything at any point. Just be like super like, oh, I could survive that, and they kill him anyway. It's like, oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can adapt to anything. Oh,
Except,
with an asterisk.
yeah, big asterisks attached. Or Darwin, man.
Like, there's so many ways they could have countered that. Like, oh, my body can't directly adapt to this, so it's gonna adapt a big hole and spit that energy ball out, or turn into the energy that it's trying to adapt to.
Yeah, I know there's that other. I don't know why we're just talking about X-Men, but there's that other mutant who like woke up and his powers finally came in, but he just exploded. He killed like his family and like his neighborhood and like part of his school.
Damn.
You know, because that's just his powers, and so they had to send Wolverine. He went to like a cave, and they had to send Wolverine to like kill him.
Oh,
You
you know
know,
what? I think I do remember that. I remember
yeah,
seeing like, is that a comic?
yeah, it's a comic.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the panel.
Yeah, like shit like that. You know,
Wasn't there
like
a?
well,
Go ahead.
I would say like, what's the mutation for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what is the benefit? You know, killing every single person around you. You
Yeah.
know that you can't control. Like I'm sure maybe if he grew up and was able to control it, I don't think it'd be a problem. But I mean,
Hmm.
yeah,
Isn't there a comic where Darwin comes up against the Hulk and his body just teleports him away? That's its
yeah,
adapt.
yeah.
It's like, no.
This is only so much we can do. Listen, you haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen yet, but there's a there's a thing in that kind of that's his whole thing is he adapts. You know, he adapts to like situations. So if you're really strong or you're whatever, he'll adapt to that and eventually be able to completely nullify and counter it. So
That's cool. That'd be a sweet power.
yeah. Also another hot take. Again, you haven't watched it, but you've seen My Hero.
Yeah.
I'm of the mindset now that the Jujutsu Kaisen fan base is worse than the My Hero fan base.
In terms of like, our anime is the best or
Don't
every
know,
other anime is trash.
like just the amount of cringe that is coming out of the fan. Because like
Uh,
when My Hero first was getting really popular here in the states, like it was all like the ships. So like they're shipping kids at school and like relationships and all that kind of stuff, like stuff that just doesn't make sense. You know, now with Jujutsu Kaisen, it's just like garbage memes. You know, garbage TikToks, fucking cringy ass videos and shit. I'm like, yep, we're getting there again. At least My Hero
mhm,
was just like a very small percentage of the community doing these weird ships and shit. This seems to be like everybody, you know.
mm. Do you think it's approaching levels of cringe and toxicity as like Star Wars fans.
I don't think we'll ever get past that, man.
They'll
Until it's,
forever hold that title.
I do 100%. Like I said, I throw
Oh, that's
big,
great.
I throw fans in quotation mark. You know, so if you liked it, you would just like it. If you didn't like it, you wouldn't complain about it online. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
not my cup of tea.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
majority of people who don't like something, they don't feel the need to go online and be like,
express
"This
my
is
opinion, and
garbage, and if you like it, you're garbage," and
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. It's like
it's probably the highest amount of actors or actresses who have received death threats, who have been suicidal. You know,
it's
because
Star
of
Wars actresses.
yeah, fan interactions. You know,
I don't get it. Like, it's never. I think people fail to realize, like, oh, actor, actress, blah blah blah. It's like you realize it's usually the writing. It's not the
it's a hundred
person.
percent the writing. Yeah,
It's not like what you think the actor or actress has that deep of a hand in how the story goes? No. I know sometimes they can make tweaks to scripts and say, "Oh, this might roll off the tongue a little better if I
yes,
change it to
exactly.
this." But the overall story, that's on the writers and the
And
director.
like to realistically say like, oh, they're a bad actor, where it's like, dude, they're not Steven Seagal. You know what I'm saying? And even and like people would probably just are not even thinking about this kind of shit. That like even Marlon Brando, who was notoriously known as being kind of a bad actor to work with, was not
Mhm.
a bad actor. He just didn't like memorizing lines. That was his thing.
Right.
So there's like that famous photo of I think they're shooting like Godfather Part Two or one of his other movies, where the actor has the lines taped to his chest, and he's standing offside off camera to where Brando can read the lines because his whole thing was, well, if I memorize a script, I'm going to memorize it one way. If I could read it off the lines, the emotions that I'm getting in the scene and all this kind of stuff can kind of help me, and say the things differently and maybe a little bit different inflection or different force focus, something like that. Like I said, to be a bad actor is one thing. You know what I'm saying? To have a bad script is entirely a different like beast. You know,
Somehow
because
Palpatine
yeah,
returned.
but even that is like that's not even that bad because
That's true.
realistically, like this was the most powerful Sith user in how many ever thousands of years.
Yeah.
It would
I
make
don't
sense that
even
he would find his way back into the Force somehow.
I don't think the critique, at least when I think about it, isn't, oh, like somehow he pulled some shit out of his ass. And like that's
Yeah.
not the critique. It's more so, really?
Yes, like
New
Palpatine
Star
again.
Wars? Yeah.
Yes.
Like, come on, we
But
we
listen,
already did the wannabe New Hope with Star Killer Base. Can we branch out a little?
yeah.
Like,
And that again is bad writing.
yeah.
That's movie to movie to movie bad writing.
Yeah.
Bad follow through, bad script retention. You know what I'm saying? That's just the fault of the people writing that shit. It's not, nobody trying to be woke or nobody trying to be whatever. It's just like, hey, guess what? The directors and the producers and the writers were like, had way different agendas apparently. It's like, that's just bad communication. And now I don't know
Man,
if
oh
it's
man.
just because like, hey, was this a situation where like, oh, it's Star Wars, it can't fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what we do, it can't fail. Or was it just like, well, this is kind of what we had in mind, and by the time it got here, it just kind of didn't work, so we had to just force it in or something like that. I'm
Yeah. You
like we'll
know,
see.
that might be their mindset because as many movies that come out later and later, more of you and I, our generation, older generations who grew up with the originals, are
Mm.
phased out, but people are having kids and the kids get phased in. So
Yes,
it's just replaced.
I mean,
So, I mean,
people literally
realistically,
don't understand.
yeah, like the movie's not for you. Cool, it's for your kids.
Yeah,
Oh, it's not for them later on, it's for their kids. Uh,
that's just how it is, man. You know,
it's probably not going to fail as long as they keep delivering cool action packed, like it could be
and
subpar writing, but
yes, and that's my problem with Star Wars is that everything needs to be a lightsaber fight, a shootout, a fucking bounty hunter versus bounty hunter type thing. There's no like, and to me, that's why Andor is so good because it takes what Star Wars is at its core, like literally like escaping the hand of a empire. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what it is at its core, and it just shows it to you front and center.
right.
You know, like yeah, the Jedi and yeah, the Mandalorians and yeah, the fucking force sensitive people. Like sweet, cool, like that exists, but it's like such a small percentage of what Star Wars is that like when you actually see what it is, like we're not on Tatooine anymore. We're not fucking dealing with the Jedi. Like oh, they're just a long lost whatever. We don't know about them. We don't care about them.
Yeah,
You know what are they doing? It doesn't affect us. It's just people doing things to survive, doing what they can to ensure like hey in 40, 50 years from now can we be safe, can we be people again, or is the empire going to come back?
right.
You know, like
I
I
think
said
it'd
it,
be
Andor is
really.
the best in my opinion, the best Star Wars show because Mandalorian's cool, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
like
like I said, there wasn't a bad episode of Andor.
there really
Even
wasn't.
like on the surface, like on paper, if you describe the episode, you'd be like, it kind of sounds boring, but it wasn't. Like when they're in the
No.
prison and they're showing him going through the day to day of like planning the escape and learning everything,
Yes.
like that shit was tense because it was relatable. Like, oh my
And what?
God, they're in their floating prison
Yes,
and they can just get killed at any point if they step a toe out of line. Like that shit's terrifying.
that's what I'm saying. It's the ultimate threat of the empire, and the reason why people didn't like that show, and reason people didn't like Book of Boba Fett, was because there wasn't enough action to satisfy like the brain time.
Yeah.
You know, when in reality the action is like you said, the tension and being afraid consistently every single time you step foot into somewhere that you know, like, hey, this could be the last time I'm here.
Yeah.
You know,
They also, the non Jedi and Sith projects are able to follow the non like superhero trope where starts off bad guy, but in the end, good guy triumphs.
yes,
The non Jedi movies, the non, force sensitive movies don't have to follow that. Andor didn't follow that. Rogue One didn't follow that. Now, yeah, it was in between, so we knew how it ended, but still, they didn't. It was like Infinity War. It was so
man,
good
that shit was
because
peak.
Thanos won. He
Yes.
won. There was no, gotcha.
Oh,
No,
how are they
he
going to do it
won.
this time? It's like
Yeah.
nope.
Um, I think it would be really cool to do either a show or a movie on a bounty hunter, like a Cad Bane, somebody who
Mhm.
grew up, learned they were force sensitive, but never announced it. They never trained. They don't have a lightsaber because those people are out there.
Yes.
Somebody who naturally figured it out and they use that to aid their like bounty hunting or
Yeah.
to aid their whatever they're doing. But again, they're not trained. They don't dress like a Jedi or a Sith. They're just doing their thing, but they're also force sensitive. I think that would be kind of cool because, like I said, they're out there,
Mhm.
like just random people who have this thing, have this ability, and don't know what it is, but they know they have it.
That could be interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of what we were supposed to get with Finn, force sensitive stormtrooper.
yeah.
But again, we were
They
we
leaned
were
into
let
it
down.
like the last half hour. Like,
I mean, that's a big chunk though to kind of get your expectations up for a movie that wasn't going to have a sequel for like 2 more years, 3 more years.
yeah, that's true.
You know.
Oh no, I'm talking about the last movie.
Oh god.
They didn't even
Which
like the first movie. They just had him pick up a lightsaber.
yeah,
There
but a
was no
lightsaber.
indication. Yeah.
No.
So
Well, even in the second movie, like post, like, because the whole point of these movies are like, oh, anybody can be a Jedi. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Anybody. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, whatever. Anyone can be a Jedi, and we see that with the kid.
At the
Um,
end with the broom. Yeah.
yes, So it's like, okay, it leans into it, and you kind of think they're like, oh, they might give us Finn as we might get him like some force sensitive like training or something like that from somebody. Nope, can't do it.
Yeah.
Like
I hope they
motherfuckers.
retcon with this new Rey movie. I hope they retcon her calling herself a Skywalker. I think she needs to go by Palpatine because the whole point of the last movie was, oh my God, I am the descendant of the biggest baddie in the universe.
Yeah,
I proved myself wrong that name and bloodline doesn't matter in terms of how you turn out. So I need to embrace Palpatine and show the universe that Palpatine is not a name to be feared instead of copping out fan service like Skywalker, Ray Skywalker. No, Ray Palpatine. And now I'm going to build up a Jedi Order and show people there's no longer any reason to be feared.
but I like this. I like her being a Skywalker.
I don't. I feel like it just kind of goes against what they set up in the last movie. Luke and Leia both were like, you being a Palpatine doesn't matter. It's your choices that matter. It's not, oh, you're born to him, so you're going to turn out like him. It's no, it's who you choose to be.
Because the way I look at it is that this is the completion of the destiny. You know,
Like,
Anakin being born
oh, you
through
think
the
it's tied to
Force.
like the Skywalker
Yes,
prophecy?
yes, because Anakin being born supposedly to become the chosen one, right? And the thing is, he did become the chosen one, just not in the way people think the chosen one has became the chosen one. He didn't kill Palpatine to become the chosen one. He fell into the clutches. His children became the chosen ones through him. That is being the chosen one, you know? And so in essence,
Mhm.
throws Palpatine down the elevator shaft. Um, Darth Vader dies. Luke, redeems him essentially through the Force finally. And then this is almost as if it's like episode one, but kind of backwards. Instead of chosen one being born through the Force, we have Palpatine coming back through the Force and something else rising up to meet it. And then in this instance,
Mhm.
that's Rey. To me, it makes sense that she's a Skywalker because it follows the chosen one, the destiny, all that shit. It follows that straight through every single movie up until
It
the
it
very
it
end.
follows like the Force dictating, like, oh, this we need to balance things.
Yes,
I just
and
in
the
terms of
balance
her,
for them previously was Skywalkers.
right, right.
So to call herself a Skywalker is actually probably the most fitting thing about it.
Ma- Maybe from like a world building, yes, but in terms of her actually using it, I think it could have done more good if she used Palpatine and showed the universe that the Jedi have returned and they don't need to fear the name Palpatine anymore. Because you saw when or not Finn, Poe was like, somehow Palpatine returned. Everyone's like,
Mhm.
oh, fuck. Like,
Yeah,
that's a name to fear. Now there's no
because
more
we knew what
reason for
happened
that.
last time.
Right, right, right. So I feel like she could have done a lot by embracing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to follow like that kind of way to me because it adds a little more kind of like levity to the situation, you know.
Whoa. Okay. Sorry. Just checking audio levels.
um, it adds like a little more kind of like oomph to her story and like no matter what, there's always gonna be something to battle the dark side, even if like they can never win, even though whatever, like who's to say that Jedi will be existing ever again, you know.
Right.
I mean, they kind of do now, but at that point, to me, it just makes sense because again, to complete the destiny, to complete the chosen one name, Anakin born out of the Force, Palpatine kind of reborn through the Force. Palpatine's already there to meet him. In this instance, Rey is rising up to meet Palpatine again.
Yeah, because
Just
Luke wasn't
descended
there.
through the line exactly.
So the
And
Force.
I think originally what the plan was is that it was going to be Ben. It was going to be Kylo. I think he was supposed to be the one chosen to meet, but I think they planned something else
Yeah.
along the way, which obviously is where we got Ray from.
Well,
So
it's funny because in Legends, oh, what is it? Leia and Han have two kids,
yeah, they
three
have a boy
kids,
and a girl.
no, three
Well, there's that.
kids. They have Jason,
I know
Ben,
Ben. Yeah,
and I don't know the daughter's name. And Jason turns into a Sith. So
yeah.
I'm sure they drew some like inspiration from that.
Hmm.
But yeah, man,
Like I said, that's
I
just
don't
the
know.
way I look at it. Because remember, and we talked about this. Any bullshit thing in Star Wars that has ever existed that you don't agree with, motherfucker, chalk it up to the Force.
Yeah,
That's just how it is.
it's
You guys like to
so
use
many
this shit
people.
to exactly. It's the worst double-edged sword that the fans ever impose on themselves. Because for one, again, fans
Right.
they'll say like, well, she's not Force sensitive, or she didn't have training in the Force. Motherfucker, the Force. When has the Force ever required training?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why? What is this whole shit? Like I said, it's not like you gotta academically put your fucking glasses on and get an A+ and force learn it. It's like no, motherfucker, this
Yeah.
shit's inherent to people. Some
Yeah,
people have stronger
it's always
connections to
been
it. Some people don't.
It's always been like you can learn to hone it more effectively if you train to learn it, but
Yes,
there are people who are just inherently more adept and more in tune to it.
exactly. And who's to say something in a moment of need is not going to give you the what you needed? You
Right.
know, like the power boost or the gain or whatever the fuck.
As Goku says, it's not when you want it, it's when you I don't know the actual quote, but
I
it's
was going
when
to
he's
say,
talking
do
to
or do not.
Gohan.
There is no try.
He tells Gohan, and I think it's when they're in the hyperbolic time chamber, and it's basically
Mm.
like this power comes at a
Oh,
time of need,
yes.
and like not when you want it, but when you need it.
Yes, there's no it's not a response, it's a call.
Right, right. Oh God, what a
Peak, man. Shit's peak.
God, what a oh. I don't care what you
But
say. Dragon
like I
Ball
said,
is the goat.
oh, absolutely, 100%, no doubt about it.
Whew.
But that's what the force is. It could be anything at any given time. So the fact that fans will write themselves in a corner and be like, "Well, she didn't have force training," but like, hey, this is the answer. This is what the force did. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's always been like you have to believe it. You have to let it in.
yes,
Because isn't that's why what's her name in Ahsoka, the Mandalorian was struggling because she was trying to train it. She was trying to
hmm,
like force it and use it. It's like no, you have to let it flow through you.
yep,
You have to surrender to it so it can pass through. And so yeah, that that makes sense. I don't know. Regardless of what is announced, I'm always going to be hopeful for Star Wars
yeah.
because it
Like I
just
said, man,
provides with so much joy. Like man, they had just
yeah.
announced the new Mandalorian movie, or sorry, Mandalorian game being made by
Well,
Respawn.
well, they're not officially announced. I think it was a
No,
leak. It was a leak, I believe, that
damn.
got traction.
Well, I hope
Uh,
it's true because that'd be
no,
awesome.
it's 100% true. It's 100% true. Like I said, that's where they're making the movie. That's why they're making the game. Again, they're appealing to the audience. And Mandalorian is a casual introduction to Star Wars, so it makes sense that it would make it a movie, which is probably gonna be casual as hell, and then they're gonna make it a game, which is probably gonna be casual as hell. You know, it'll have
I'm
the
totally
market.
down.
It'll have the, you know, we'll probably it'll probably be like, oh, this is where you figure out what the race of Yoda and Grogu are finally, and what's the other one's
I
name? Yao.
hope hope so, dude. I hope so. Not because I care, but just because it's so intriguing. Because I think we talked about it way back. This is like early episodes where there's a race called the Yuzong Vong who are
Non-canon.
true, who are like outside of the Force. They're
Mhm.
just like it's not even immune. It's like the Force doesn't interact with them.
Yeah, they exist outside of its control,
Yeah,
essentially.
and I think the Yoda's race is like the exact opposite.
Oh, you mean something rose up to counter the force, and something rose up to counter the counter to the force? Oh my god, shit's crazy, man.
It's all coming together.
It's almost as if that's how the force works. Holy shit,
Yep.
we're getting somewhere
So
finally.
I'm so down. I hope they make the Mandalorian game in third person. I think they announced.
Yeah, it'll probably be in third person.
I hope so because that Indiana Jones game that they're
Oh, that shit
producing,
looks so good,
it's
man.
first person, and I don't
It
know
looks
if I like that.
amazing.
I need to see more.
I love that. I love that. I was watching the gameplay. I just rewatched the trailer like yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that. I was like, dude, I can't wait for this. That I
We'll
know
see.
Avowed. I know the combat looked a little sloppy to me. It looked a little. It wasn't tight how I like it. It didn't feel crunchy enough.
Is
You know
that
what I'm
the
saying?
new like
It's from Obsidian, the guys who did New
fantasy?
Vegas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Outer Worlds. So
Oh, they just did you see the Outer Worlds 2 trailer?
yes,
Bro.
I'm excited for
Mm.
that too. Like I
Okay,
said,
let's no go for it.
I'll say the first time I ever tried to install it on my Xbox, it like wouldn't install. It would go to 100%. I would click play and it just wouldn't play. And I'm
Oh,
like, maybe I thought it was the disc or something like that. And I had Game Pass because I already had a disc.
yeah.
So I had Game Pass. I just uninstalled the disc version, installed the Game Pass version. Just like, nope, doesn't work. I'm like,
Damn.
great. Tried to install it on my PC. It didn't work. And I was like, okay, something's busted. I redid my PC, reinstalled Windows and everything. Like that. Sure enough, it worked again. I was like, what the fuck changed? What happened?
I
What's going
I
on right
I feel like sometimes technology just gives you a sign. Like I was trying to update Baldur's Gate 3 yesterday, and the update just like wouldn't. It just kept like resetting.
here?
So I uninstalled it and reinstalled it on my SSD. Worked like a charm. I'm like,
Mhm.
all right. It was just telling me it's time. So Helldivers 2 has been fantastic.
Big
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah. I am so I saw a good article headline and I think it's really true. Helldivers 2 is garnering the reaction from fans that every game wishes it could.
Hmm.
Like, and it's $40.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's fun.
It's it's so it gives me the Destiny feeling in terms of you just hop in and play.
Hmm.
There's no like level of depth. There's no convoluted bullshit campaign that they're trying to push at you. It's just hop in with fans and go kill things,
Yeah.
or hop in with friends and go, kill bugs or robots. And
God, those fucking robots, man.
dude, they're insane. Like, oh my god, especially the big brutes, like the big
Hmm.
tanky dude. Man, poor
Yeah.
Xbox fans.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like a Sony funded game. I thought it was just coming out on PS5 and PC. I didn't realize that like Sony had a hand in developing. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Didn't know that.
Good on them, because I love it.
Yeah.
And they did microtransactions correctly.
Hmm.
They gave you a choice to go either the free path or the microtransaction path, and yeah.
But even the free path, it's like you just play the game and it happens.
Right. Yeah, you just
You know,
get the stuff as you complete missions.
and everyone shares. Somebody finds something, picks it up, it goes to you. It shares to the whole team.
Yes, which is
It's not
great.
specific to whoever finds it. You know,
That's
you get rewarded
fantastic.
for doing brand new missions at harder difficulty, upgrading your ship, upgrading your abilities. I mean, like I said, it's a fun game. I look forward to playing it. I fucking Power World, man, he keeps sucking me in.
Yeah, well, what's the game doing?
It's just
Yeah,
too fun.
it's a good time for gaming, man.
Hmm. I
Um,
mean, shit, we got Dragon's Dogma next month.
that
Um,
and Rise of Ronin, Rise of the Ronin.
yeah,
I
I
think I'm
know.
more excited for Dragon's Dogma.
Did you play the first one?
I played a little bit.
It's great.
It was, how do I describe it? I was young. I was a little too young to really
Know what you're doing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Um, but I do remember just kind of a little bit of the world and like the universe that it was in, and I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, I should probably reinstall it, replay it again on PC.
I might watch like a review video just to kind of reacclimate myself.
Yeah, March 22nd. And I also know that the Grand Blue Fantasy Relink or whatever, I know that's also gotten like some decent reviews and people seem to be enjoying that. So
I know
might be
that was on a
something.
Game Ranks video.
Yeah,
They're like my go-to in terms of reviews
yeah.
because they're not.
I love how everyone's got different ones because for me it's ACG.
I've heard of them too.
That's who I tend to get my
I,
reviews from because they do everything. They do like the technical and
uh-huh.
sound, story, like all that shit. They do everything. So
I like Game Ranks because even though they give their personal opinions, they make it very clear their personal opinions. Like, hey, here's a mechanic it has. I don't personally like this,
yeah.
but if you like this type of gameplay, you might. It's very
Ooh,
cut and
it's like
dry.
that guy
Like,
that gave Breath of the Wild like a 4 or 5 out of 10 because they had weapons that uh, lost like durability, and
oh
he
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like, "I just can't enjoy it. Like this is a AAA game that they made like this a thing." I'm like, people aren't gonna like that, and they did
I
not.
get it. I get it. I don't like durability or stamina, so I understand. But the game is still great.
Yes.
Like I remember I borrowed from our job, Adrian.
Mhm.
I borrowed his whatchamacallit, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And whoa.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, okay. We doing some buffering. Damn, we're down to
That's
108p. No. uh,
uh,
uh, uh.
is it better? I can't tell.
It's better. Hmm.
Here, let me turn off and turn it back on again.
Oh, you might have to Wait, which webcam do you have? The Elgato, right?
Uh, yes.
Okay. That's better. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Weird.
Thank God. Thank God. Yeah, like I'm not a fan of those mechanics, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh, that makes it a bad game. It's like, no, that is a preference of me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like turn-based games. And I understand some people don't. And that's why they think Baldur's Gate is crap. No, it's amazing. You just don't like the way it plays.
Yeah.
It's okay. Uh,
Because I think certain genres have been kind of thrown into the like, well, this type of game is bad because this one game that I played, which had this in it, is bad.
yeah.
You know, and I think again we're dealing with a lot of superficial people and players and playing games and watching movies and watching shows now that like substance doesn't matter anymore. It's just kind of how it looks to you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that looks good because this. I'm like, but it kind of looks like the animations are garbage and the designs of everything is like not great. Like this looks enjoyable to you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like that's kind of where we're getting into is just everything's superficial now. It's just how it looks, it's just how smooth it plays to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Like what's a game that looks good but is garbage?
Last of Us Part One.
All right, we're not joking now.
I'm being dead ass.
Yeah, but that's just because you don't like watching a movie while you play a game.
No. That's not true because I love the God of War games. I love
Okay, that's fair.
both
What's wrong
Spider-Man
with Last of
games.
Us?
My issue with Part One is that one, the story's okay. It's not like amazing. Like people think that story, like it's an average story, probably high average.
I don't
My
think
issue
I
with
think
Part
it's
One,
it's a very simple story, but it's told well. Like
exactly,
it's an easy to understand story.
it pulls on the strings.
Right.
My issue with Part One, especially the PS3 version, they fixed it with the remaster version, which I have to go back and play because they used the 2 engine. Is the animations are fucking absolute trash.
Oh, okay.
It is such a bad game to play that I could not. I only got like 10 hours in before, or like even less than that before I say fuck it. I couldn't do this.
Is that when it first came out?
Probably like because I didn't get a PS4 until when we got that 500 million collector's edition one.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was my first PS4,
Okay.
and that's when I played it.
Interesting. Because again, that's a technical thing, though.
Yeah, and the game suffers for it,
Yeah, but
in my opinion.
again, are you gonna judge Cyberpunk because of the like technical problems? It's like, nah. You look at it
No,
now.
because when I played it, and I played it at the peak of its technical difficulties, I didn't have any issues.
That's fair. Yeah.
Like you said,
Okay.
Like you said, it's person to
That
person.
that's true. That's true.
You know,
Dude,
I think
I
Last
love
of
that
Us
game.
gets wildly overrated for what it is. Part two, I think, is a hell of a lot better than the first game. Like
I think so too,
as many times as good as it could be.
especially the gameplay because you're
Yes.
able to. I believe they implemented dodge. I don't think you could dodge in the first one.
Yeah, you can undo like the side
Yeah, the
sliding, like
little yeah. That's huge for me. Is I've realized when it comes to like non first person shooters, when it comes to third person, any sort of third person, whether it be an RPG or whatnot, I need a dodge. Otherwise, it feels wrong. Like
I don't
everything
know.
about it feels wrong. A dodge or a roll or something.
I could go either for a dodge or a parry. Doesn't matter. I go for either or.
I feel like it should have both. Or I guess like a dodge or a block.
Uh, I don't know, man.
Like what's a recent game that doesn't have a dodge? That's like a third person like RPG or
Does
adventure or
Suicide
something.
Squad have a dodge? Can you dodge with those characters?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, there was a
See,
parry and
that's
a block in God of War.
yeah, and there's
Not
and
a
you can
dodge
dodge
though.
roll. Yep.
Oh yeah, I guess you can
You
dodge.
sidestep and then if you double click, you roll.
I don't know. I think it just depends on the game's combat. You know,
I mean,
because
even like from software, like Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, Dark
Yeah.
Souls. Yeah, but there's costs and benefits to rolling because you can go
Mhm.
armorless and have the fastest high, like the amount of highest of uh frame dodge versus having like some gear on, like some kind of heavy pieces, some light pieces kind of together where you have a regular dodge and you can fat roll, which you
Yeah.
have the lowest amount of frame dodge. So there's kind of give and take, especially if you're doing fashion or, hey, I just want to dodge faster, essentially,
I remember when we were playing Elden Ring and I experienced the fat roll for the first time. I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I only going like a foot?
Fucking doom, doom. It's good old, it's the Havel roll.
See, that's another one like Suicide Squad. I think, people heard live service and they lost their minds. And then in reality, it's no different than like Fall Guys. You only pay for cosmetics. And yes, there is a full price tag, but it delivers a full story. The gameplay,
See,
it's hit or
my
miss.
my issue with oh god. My issue with Suicide Squad is that we literally have one of the best video game trilogies: Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight.
I like Origins
Y-
too.
Origins is great. I don't put that in there because that's a prequel to all three of them.
Yeah.
So I just kind of condense it to uh, the main line, kind of the big three, I guess.
Mhm.
You had Rocksteady with the most prolific history of like amazing single player like Batman game. And I get they're trying to do something different, right? Like
Mhm.
it's sure whatever. But every time I look at that game, I feel like, man, this could have been a different level of peak. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I guarantee within like less than 6 months it'll go free to play. And people
Probably.
will,
Yeah. Once they recoup. Yeah.
yeah. But like, and replaying, I literally just finished Arkham City last weekend, and it's
Great.
such a great game. And I'm replaying Arkham Knight, and I'm like, dude, this shit is amazing, and like the
Arkham Knight
story
is
is
incredible.
fantastic, and they up the animation, they up the quality of the game in general, fucking all the DLCs, the AR challenges, like everything.
Didn't they add ray tracing to Arkham Knight?
I think
At
they
least for
did,
the
yeah,
PC?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Uh,
playing it. I'm playing it in 4K, like everything to the max, and dude, that shit's gorgeous.
so I have a theory. Because I think these studios are learning. Like, hey, when we take these studios that have delivered just amazing, like narrative story based games, single player, and we throw a live service at them, people shit on it. Like what just happened? Not Suicide Squad, the one before that. I feel like we just had another one that was, oh, they did amazing games and they threw a live service and it was just shit.
I don't know. I know Diablo was. I don't know why the first one that came to my mind.
No, it wasn't that one. But I have seen a lot of shit on that too. Like $60 DLC or little cosmetics. Anyway,
Fucking horse armor.
I
Yeah.
have a theory that Rocksteady is now going to come out with another, we'll say entry, but the next single player story Batman game, and it's going to be directly after Suicide Squad, and it's going to be Robin or Nightwing or Red Hood because they could. The way Suicide Squad leaves off, they could introduce a Red Hood game that plays like Arkham, and
Yeah.
it would fit because the way
Or
things end, like,
like a Damian Wayne or something.
yeah, they could.
I can see that. But
They
again,
really could.
the question we have to ask was it worth it? Was it
Yeah.
worth it to tarnish your studio's reputation, to put every single amount of eyes on you possible for a game that you guys, once you saw the initial reaction, say, hey, we're going to decide we're going to go in and change up some things,
Mhm.
and it still came out like kind of a hot mess, you know. Like the story wise shit, I don't care. I don't care that Batman dies, whatever the fuck, that's fine.
Mhm.
Like I said, that's just part of the game. But like, damn, dude, if they would have came out with a like AAA Suicide Squad game, four different storylines, like you could either do it solo and the story will get complete in the background for each character you don't do, or with friends. Like imagine like a four-player. I mean, that's kind of what you get now, kind of, but like
Yeah, I
four-player
mean,
Suicide Squad game, but like high level, like high quality. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
fucking like Arkham Knight level, like massive open world. Like it could have been such a different game.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think they're too focused on the like how can we rake in more money. See, that's
Exactly.
the thing. Even with that game, like the roadmap is like all the story shit is going to be free, all the characters are going to be free. It's just cosmetics, like stuff that doesn't matter. So I think they're trying to balance that. We don't want to seem too money hungry. We want to deliver quality, but they started off not on the best foot.
No, and like I said, you've already the amount of people that are kind of gonna question your next game
Mhm.
is it's
Yeah.
tremendous now because guess what? Every time your name gets brought up in, oh, Rocksteady's teasing a new whatever they go, yeah, but remember Suicide Squad? It's
Yeah.
the same thing with Bethesda. Starfield's coming out. Is that blah blah blah? Oh, remember Fallout 76? Remember Fallout 4? It's like, yeah, no shit, because they decided to shit on their reputation
Yeah.
by making garbage. I
Dude,
not games, but
76. Oh my god, I remember that. That was a
uh,
train wreck.
yeah, and that game kind of had a renaissance. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I know at one point, or I think even now, it's close. It's averaging over 1 million players a month, unique players a month still, and that's a good amount of people.
Yeah.
You know, but like, just imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I always tell people. Like, imagine we could have had a single player Fallout game, or like kind of multiplayer version now, but not open world. Like, hey,
Right.
you got invaded, or this person's going to drop a nuke here, go and do this to stop it. And oh, they have this monster or this faction as a team. You could use these factions as a team or something. Instead of making just straight open world,
Ah,
like you lose the story, which again, Fallouts have been strictly known for. Like that's the problem with 4. Is the gameplay is great. It's the best of the series, but the story is just fucking abysmal. Versus like 1, 2, 3, New Vegas. It's like, yeah, like some of the DLCs for those were like stinkers, but like the rest of the fucking games, those are great.
mhm.
So it's like they fell into the trap of delivering a high quality product, but not a high quality story. And that's the same thing with Starfield now, is that it's a high quality, it looks fine and it has all these cool features and shit, but there's no story to back up
Right.
the depth of the system.
Like nobody cares about the story.
No.
Yeah.
I know there's some interesting shit in there. I watched a speed run of it, but like,
Mhm.
why would I give a fuck?
Right.
you know, you guys have already shown me that you just don't care anymore. So it's like that. All it took for them was for Bethesda was Fallout 4 and mostly Fallout 76 to kind of take the brunt of their reputation against away from them completely.
Yep.
And with Rocksteady now with Suicide Squad, so it's like, how can we trust you?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. God. I guess we'll see.
that we will.
Time will tell. Dude, people are losing their minds over, oh, how could they kill Batman like that? And I'm like, knowing Batman's character, you really think Batman wouldn't say, "Oh my god," like let's
Yeah.
say he came out of the mind control and saw everything he did,
Hmm.
he'd take his own life.
Probably.
Like, "Oh my god, I did all this." Like he's always been one to take the fall or to put himself in front of the bullet or and like after seeing what he's capable of when he's compromised, oh yeah. You kidding me? Jump off a
Yeah.
cliff like
Yeah. Like realistically, like power wise, like obviously there's people who scale past him like physically,
mhm.
but like mentally, it's like, no, there's
Yeah,
not
he
many
was
that do.
Brainiac's like strategist,
Yes.
and that caused way more mayhem than any single person out there. Like
Yep.
it's crazy, man.
And like I said, it's always excuses and shit. Like, so I don't give a fuck about the story. Like, I don't care. I actually think it's super interesting the route they took.
But yeah, I
I
like
just
it.
wanted a different game. Like, that's what I wanted. That's
Mhm.
my main complaint.
Yeah,
I didn't buy it. I don't plan to buy it.
yeah.
So,
I like the ending. Well, I'm towards the end, but they've
mhm.
already opened up like for the future, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I like it.
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
just have to see. Like I
but
said,
in the
I hope they
meantime,
can redeem themselves with.
another Arkham or like that type.
That type of,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
God, Gotham Knights, man, I don't know what the fuck that was, dude.
Dude, I'd play Suicide Squad 10 times out of 10 over Gotham Knights. I'm thinking back to Gotham Knights and like the only reason I was there was for the story, which wasn't that good. The gameplay was just so boring, man. It was like I had to get through the gameplay to get to the story, and that's sad.
That's the worst type of game.
Yeah, man, it's like Ah, at least with Suicide Squad, it's the gameplay is exciting. It's like intense. You're always on the move. Sometimes you
Yeah.
feel overwhelmed. Like it can be fun. Fucking Gotham Knights, man. That was. I think the only reason I enjoyed it was because I was playing it on my Steam Deck, and the
Mm,
Steam Deck was still relatively new for me. So I'm like, oh, this is so cool playing
yeah.
mobily. And now I think back to it, and I'm like, no, that
Yeah.
was.
And in fact, it was not cool.
Yeah.
I was, in
Oh
fact, a
God.
big nerd.
Yeah. But we got plenty to keep us busy now.
Yes.
Helldivers, Dragon's Dogma, Rise of the Ronin, which is
I know
co-op.
there's another big game. It's going on like April or also March. I can't remember, but
Let's see.
maybe it was that Ronin game I was thinking of.
I love there's people that compile lists, and I'm a big fan. March. What do we got for March? Anything giant play? The Pirate Queen. Oh, VR. No. 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 Alone in the Dark. Oh, the remake.
They already did a remake. I don't know why they're doing a remake of a remake.
Maybe it's like a relaunch remake. Like
Because that was one of the, maybe it was a launch title or maybe it was like a month after when the 360 came out. They did a remake of that game, and there was a button where you can blink your eyeballs.
yeah, we're good.
And if you didn't blink your eyeballs, it got all blurry, and like
That's
you couldn't
awesome.
see. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. This is the dumbest shit I've ever
I think
fucking.
that's so. I love shit like that. Like in Helldivers, when you pull up your stratagems, your guy actually looks at his wrist and like
Yes.
types in the shit. I love little shit like that.
To blink,
I
no.
mean, if you had to do it like every 30 seconds, that would get annoying.
That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's not like, oh, let me blink once every 5 minutes. It's like, no, motherfucker, you literally go like this, and your eye goes, it starts watering. You can't see, and you can't see, and you can't see, and eventually, like, it'll blur and narrow your vision. I'm like, what kind of dumbass shit is this? Who thought this was okay? Because again, motherfuckers try to be unique instead of trying to deliver something solid.
Oh, it's immersive.
Immerse these, man. How about that? Just submerge them. Tired of this shit, man.
Oh, fuck, man. That's funny. Oh, it's going to be a good year.
Well,
Good
I
year.
don't know about if it's gonna be a great year. You know why? Because the goddamn motherfucking Nintendo Switch 2 is getting delayed till next year, man.
Oh, I saw that. I mean, does that matter if there are like the new Zelda isn't coming out this year?
No.
So as long as there's no like giant super hype games coming out this year for the Switch, that's probably okay.
Mm, we might get an announcement of a new Pokemon game at the end of the year, probably. Can't wait for that.
Oh boy. I wonder if they're going to give the Pokemon guns. I bet they won't.
I mean, listen, you people make that joke, but one of the starters from Gen 8 and Teleon, that motherfucker gets a sniper rifle. So it's like,
I
it's like a James Bond lizard, and when you can Gigamax him to turn him real big, and he'll end up in like a tree top, and he'll like have a sniper that he aims down with. I'm like, all right, hell yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I hope that Pal World encourages them to kind of
It
you know,
won't.
do a little more.
It
I hope
won't.
it does. I
It
really do.
won't. You know why? Because they sold 23 million copies of Scarlet and Violet at full price, and they made 1 point whatever $1 billion, and they said, you know what, people will still buy it.
Yeah,
I
but
was one of those
what's
people.
Pokemon gonna do after? Because you know what's gonna happen when they announce the new Pokemon. I can tell you right now, every single video, every single meme is
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
like, "Does my starter have
yeah,
AK-47? Nope. All right, back to Pal World." Like
yeah,
that's going to be everything.
yeah.
So
And this
they're
is what'll
gonna.
happen. It'll still sell millions and millions of
Oh
copies because it's
yeah.
blank. You know, like I said, I'm gonna be one of those people because I fucking love Pokemon. You know, but again, the issue we have is nobody remembers anything because the number one complaint when Power World came out was like, man, why couldn't Pokemon do this? Why couldn't Pokemon make something like this?
Mhm.
And then when they made Sword and Shield, you guys went, this is not the Pokemon game we want. We want something different. Then they made Arceus, which is like arguably the best Pokemon game for the Switch and probably a top 5 Pokemon game in general. That
Mhm.
is completely different than any other Pokemon game. What is the similarity? You catch Pokemon. That's it. You don't buy Pokeballs. You craft Pokeballs. You craft potions. You do like all the shit that people wanted. You could do that. And people said, no, this is too different. We want something like kind of similar, but not too different. Come on, Nintendo. What are you guys, dumb? So they made Scarlet and Violet. And then you guys went, well, it plays like shit. It's like, no shit, motherfuckers running on half a toaster and 3 AA batteries and 2 day leftover vegetable oil. Like, no shit, it's not, doesn't run like nothing. I played it on PC too. That shit don't run like shit. It's an optimization of the game. It's not the Switch's fault. It's an
Yeah.
optimization of the game's fault. Because again, when they get their AAA games like Super Mario Wonder and Breath of the Wild to play like they do, nobody says anything. But when Pokemon has like one bad game with like a couple hiccups here or there, which can literally be solved by looking at the ground, everyone gets upset. Because, like I said, you
Everyday
can't
old
please
vegetable oil.
anybody. Listen, that's the power of the Nintendo Switch, baby. Because
Better off playing on a
I
smart
would
microwave.
purely buy a Switch 2 off principle if I
Mhm.
can play games at like 1080 60, 720 60 consistently
That's
smooth.
all they need. If they can deliver 1080 60, like
You know,
that's it.
yeah,
They don't need to deliver fucking like 4K,
no,
120, any of that shit.
it does not.
Like
But
nobody's
like I said, you can't satisfy anybody. And my issue with Power World is, even though I love the game, you can't critique it. You can't say like, well, I'm not a fan of this because everyone's going to be like, well, it's an early access. Come on, don't you know that? It's like
uh,
you guys
yeah.
like again, it's the worst double-edged sword because you guys will sit there and complain about the lack of content, and then on the other hand, when somebody else complains about it, he goes, well, it's early access. What do you expect? You
Well,
know?
I think that's the thing. When it's in early access, going in. It's like if I bought Skull and Bones expecting a pirate game and not just a ship battle. Like the best part of being a pirate wasn't the ship battles for me. It was boarding and swinging the rope and then killing everyone on the other ship. That was the best part, not the ship combat.
The
And
best
so
part of
when
being
you
a
think
pirate for me was being a butt pirate.
stealing the booty, I just like that's what I think of when I think pirate game. And so without
That's
that,
fair.
you're charging the $70 on a finished game, whereas Power World's like, hey, it's unfinished. It's $26 or whatever it is. Like, that going in.
But again, the issue that I have is that people who don't even play the game or have not even purchased the game or probably don't plan on purchasing or playing the game are using it to shit on Game Freak and Nintendo.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? But in reality, the fact that they're getting those Pokemon games to run like they do on the Switch is probably a better part of itself. You guys want the fields of Pokemon, you guys want the fucking waterfalls and they climbing up the walls and shit like that. You could do it. It's just not gonna play great,
Right.
you know? So
Yeah.
like I said, it's a weird thing now where a game blows up like Power World does. Game's out for a couple weeks, people go, man, there's really not much to do in there, huh? Somebody go, well, it's early access, you know. Or if you have issues with the game that are valid complaints, um, they go, well, it's early access. What do you expect? It's like they're using that as a band-aid essentially. When I'm like, that's not the problem the game has,
Honestly,
you
to
know.
me, like it feels the same as every survival game.
Yes.
Like I think that's my problem with every survival game is, oh, there's nothing like I'm not playing towards an end goal. There's never an end goal with survival games. It's just to build things up bigger and
Yes.
better and more advanced. Like that's every survival game. There is no end goal. It's just build up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just the genre.
Like I said,
Hmm.
it's a big map. It's mostly empty though. Like I said, I have caught all the pals. I have like the max amount of bases and I have all like the upgraded like shit in my base. Um, and yeah, like I said, I'm still enjoying it. I still find it fun because I'm at the point where like I'm trying to breed like faster riding mounts and better workers and shit like that. So that's kind of like my end game is kind of like getting to that, and you know
I caught my first human.
that's always fun.
Yeah. He's now sitting in my little pal thing, the little
Oh,
like
the
station,
observatory, yeah.
the little like thing that you teleport from, that you fast travel. He's just chilling in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't put him to work yet. He's living in servitude right now.
Yeah. But like I don't know, people don't remember, and people always have a short term memory when it comes to shit like that. Because like I said, the number one complaint with all the Pokemon games is that they're too different. You know, Sword Shield. Well, that's it's not different enough.
Mhm.
Legends Arceus. That's too different. Now here's Scarlet and Violet. It's like okay, it's good. There's a lot of cool stuff here, but man, does it play like trash? It's like this is what you guys wanted.
Yeah.
God damn it.
My complaint with all the original Pokemons was they were the exact same, just
I
different
mean,
Pokemon.
yeah,
Which people love that shit, so fine.
I love
But
it.
that was my thing, was like it's like, people who buy like Modern Warfare 2 and then Modern Warfare 3, or 2K23 and then 2K24, and oh, there's nothing new. It's like, no shit. Like, it's gonna be the same shit. Like, what? Oh,
I could see that. I mean, for Pokemon, that's not really the case though, because when they had Pokemon, they're adding new types, they're adding new moves, they're adding new abilities, they're
yeah,
adding new
but
natures, they're adding new like ways to like level up and advance your Pokemon. So, hey, this thing that's normally weak to really weak to this is guess what? It has a trick up its sleeve, and it's not weak to that anymore. You know what I'm saying? And like
yeah.
all the gyms and all the boss fights are all different, different strategies and shit. You know, like I could see the argument for Call of Duty, yeah, for sure, because like I said, literally just it's a mill sim.
Right.
You know, you go shoot other guy, put fucking weed sniper scope on, and do it again. That's what it is. You know,
Yep.
at least with Pokemon, they're oh god, and the same motherfuckers that complain about Gigamaxing and Dynamaxing are the same people that oh god, I can't even get into it, man.
I always think it's
Listen,
funny when people think, when you have those creators who are like, gaming's dead, there's no dead games, and their two most played games are Modern Warfare 3 and 2K something.
yeah, Fortnite, FIFA.
Or yeah, FIFA. It's like,
How did this
bro,
win Game of the Year? How did
yeah, like, what
man?
are
Why
you
didn't Spider-Man
on?
2 win? What? It didn't win any awards. You telling me that this unknown game is better than this game? It's like, well, yes. Sorry, that show is.
Yeah.
Like I said, you exist in a bubble of video games now. You know.
What did somebody was like, oh god, I can't wait for Mortal Kombat to win Game of the Year. I'm like, if we ever have a year where a fighting game wins Game of the Year, that'll be a bad year for gaming.
Listen, man. Tekken 8 came out. That shit is
Listen, I love Tekken
good.
games. But I'm not going to pretend that there is a level of depth or anything in those games that competes with Baldur's Gate or God of War or anything like that. Like, there is no way, to me, that a fighting game could ever come close. But that's just, again, how I see it. Like, I don't care how fun it is. There's not enough there.
Yeah, but like,
Like, Game of the Year?
like story wise, yeah, I could see that. You know, but a fighting game has literally infinite replayability.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
know, because
I
every
mean,
time
so
you
does Modern
play,
Warfare
it's a.
3.
I mean, what if you max? What if you get everything in the game?
But that doesn't affect your replayability. Like, that's
No.
only progress wise. In terms of playability, you can keep loading into different maps, different matches. Like, you might use a different loadout. You might encounter different enemies. Like, every match is going to be different with, a FPS. And every match
Yeah.
is going to be different with a fighting game. You're going to play a different opponent. You're going to use different moves. That's fair. Like, there is infinite replayability. But I think the fact that there is infinite replayability doesn't translate to you're going to want to play it for that long.
I just think there's like a level of strategy in a fighting game that kind of allows for that infinite replayability. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
I agree, dude. I get my ass handed. The skill level, like the ceiling for fighting games,
Oh
is
yeah,
insane.
Yeah, I used to play a
People,
lot of Street Fighter 4. I had thousands of hours of Street Fighter 4 back on the 360. So I know.
yeah, dude, that I and I'm talking strictly 2D fighters
Yeah,
because I know like when Sparking Zero comes out, I'm gonna feel very differently about that than like Mortal
can't
Kombat
wait.
1
Can't wait.
because those kind of 2D 3D fighters, those have a lot more. I enjoy those a lot more.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Uh,
real fucking good.
yeah,
Supposedly there was a leak that came out that said all of GT and everything up until the super movie, the last super movie, is gonna be in the game. So probably up until
Beast.
Beast, yeah, Beast Gohan.
Oh, oh, and
Like
UI go. Oh my god, that's gonna be.
I can't wait for that. It's just gonna be crazy.
God, that's gonna be great. Yeah, I can't wait. Oh God. Oh, oh man,
Yeah,
that's gonna be great. Oh, dude, we're having fried chicken tonight.
nice. I just had some Chinese food.
From where? Like a local place?
Yeah, one of the shitty buffets around here.
Listen,
I know I didn't want it, but my sister
Actually,
was
you
like, "Oh
might be
yeah, I'm getting
near.
Chinese food."
There's a buffet. Oh God, it's the neighborhood it's in is. It's well, I don't want to give away the area, but this buffet is massive.
Hmm.
Like you probably know, you've probably passed it. And during dinner time, they bring out like crab. It's still a
Hmm.
good deal, even with inflation, dude. It's like $18 for all you can eat. They crab sushi. They've got like the Mongolian style where you can hand them a bowl and they'll like
Oh
fry it
yeah,
up right there. And
yeah.
oh my god, such a good deal. Orange
Yeah,
chicken and
I really don't eat crab
no.
or lobster or shrimp.
Oh, she goes bananas. She'll go there and literally just get like 3 plates of crab.
Yeah, that's
It's like the seafood fix.
yeah. I get it, man. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna tickle some people, but
For me, like crab tastes good, but it's so much work.
that's
Like I gotta
how I
crack
feel
it and
about
like
chicken
break it
wings,
open.
man.
This is why boneless wings are king. You take a fork, you stab it, and eat it. There is no eating around the bone. Oh, now it's stuck. Oh, now let me eat around. No, you
Listen,
enjoy yourself.
we can do that. That's fine. But there has to be a compromise. You cannot call them boneless wings. You got to call them nuggets.
That's fine.
Okay. All
Nuggets.
right.
All right, bone
Because
or chicken nuggets.
yeah, because
No,
some people
because
would be like, they're still wings. I'm like, motherfucker, those are not wings. Where
they're
on
just
the wing of that bird is that
they're wingless
nugget this
wings.
big? Yeah, a boneless wing.
Boneless pizza. Oh
Because
god,
I
that's
like
great.
chicken wings, but
Yeah.
man, they're a lot of work, dude.
Dude, on the Super Bowl, I had to so we did Wingstop and I ordered at 2 and the
Mhm.
Super Bowl didn't start till 3:30. So I'm like, they'll be ready. So
Oh,
around it said pick them up at like 3:58. So I went around 3:30. The Wingstop people were like out the door waiting for their pickups. So there's a taqueria next door. I went and had like a nice cold beer in a mug. They had the Super Bowl like pre whatever on. And I was watching the very beginning. I'm like, okay, this is nice. I didn't leave there until 4:40
god
with the
damn.
wings. Dude, I was it was one of those true tests of patience. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm missing the game. I want to go home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I know. Bonchon was extremely fucking busy last week too. I was like, man, why are they busy? I was like, oh, Super Bowl, duh.
Yeah.
Because listen, I don't give a fuck. Like I
Yeah.
said, all the Niners fans, thank God y'all lost. You
Dude,
guys
it's
were favored
so
in every 20
funny.
games you guys played this season. You guys were favored every fucking game. Don't act like you guys were the underdog at all. Like, come on now. Don't be silly.
Yeah, I love how angry. I love seeing how angry sports fans get
Dude,
over a
I
game
would
they
love it if,
watch and have no anything in.
I mean, some people got money, man. Some people
Well,
do
that's
some
their
stupid shit for losing
dumbass
money.
choice.
I
Like,
listen, you ain't wrong, but
listen, yeah. I will laugh extra hard at you if you take out your life savings and put it on a football game. Like what?
yeah, people try to hit those parlays, man. I'll be like, y'all are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you could just stick that in a nice index fund. That's
They want
yeah.
it now, man. They want it now.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I Ah, God, what a time to be alive.
I was to say, speaking of Dragon Ball, man, you see that they added Broly, Beast, fucking Gogeta, and the Gammas for the 9th year celebration.
Oh, of course.
And dude, I can't
Dude,
wait. I can't
dude,
wait for Beast to go on. He looks so
he's
fucking
insane.
cracked.
He is insane.
I literally might just do like 1 or 2 summons on Broly's banner and just go hard on Beast banner. Because
I
I got shit on last celebration, or these past couple celebrations actually, for units. So
what did I do? I think the last one, I feel like I've gotten pretty decently lucky, but I'm saving now. Now that I've seen the units,
yeah,
I'm like, I'm gonna go for Beast, and I might throw a couple at Gogeta, and then
I
probably
really
go.
want to, man. But out of the 4, he is. And it's funny because when you say the worst, like, the motherfucker's still top 5. But it's like, out
Well,
of the 4 on the mainline units, he is number 4. It's like Beast, Broly, Gammas, and then it's fucking Gogeta. I'm like, dude, he's great. His animations are solid, man. But damn,
yeah,
dude,
yeah,
Beast
but he's got a
looks.
really solid team.
Yes,
He's
but here's the thing,
Superheroes
though.
200
If you
or
pull
Movie Heroes
Beast,
200.
you could put every single one of those units under his category.
That's true. Yeah,
Not 100, not the 200%. Broly will still be 170, but
yeah,
still, that's
that's true.
crazy that you could have all 4 of them under one fucking team, along with Orange Piccolo.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing too. Is like Gogeta might be the worst of the 4, but on that team,
Oh yeah, yeah,
he's oh my god.
yeah. That cat's cooking.
Plus, he stacks in base.
Yes,
So
that's
one thing
also
I always have to
appreciated.
keep in track is like when I watch like Detruth's video, they're all
Mhm.
rainbowed, so he's going to clear events a lot faster. It's like when he's not rainbowed, he's stacking,
Yeah,
and then that translates over to when he transforms. So,
yeah.
oh
Because
man,
when the 8th year celebrations came out, I only pulled the GT duo. I did not pull the Majin Buu.
I mean they're definitely better. So
Yes, but I wanted the Majin Buu boys because LR physical Buhan fits under that leader skill.
oh okay,
And I'm calling it now. I'm pretty sure worldwide download celebration is going to be Majin Buu Saga. Easy
yeah,
A's
no, they'll
for
probably
Super Vegito, and Easy A's for the Buhan.
I mean
They're
they're
going to
about
be
to do the easy A's for UI and Evolution Blue for the 9th.
dude. They're going to be stupid
I
because I have both of them rainbow.
so do I.
So they're going
I
to be
think
monsters.
AGLUI will have like guaranteed dodge for 3 turns. And then after 3 turns, he's going to have 70% and probably
Mhm.
some defensive stacks and whatnot. But I
Yeah.
really could see them giving him guaranteed dodge for like the first 3 turns.
I could also see that.
And then Evolution Blue probably make his damage reduction stay instead
Yes.
of be per turn.
Yes. Give him a
'Cause
little bit
then-
more attack because
Yeah.
I mean, even Rainbow, he's barely hitting like 4.4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't hit hard.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know I didn't pull shit on the Super Saiyan 4 Goku banner, which is
I think I threw like 1 at that.
I did. I put about 1,200 stones into that, and I did not get one of him.
Really?
Not one.
Damn. Dude, he's so good.
No
I
shit,
love
huh?
that unit.
Yeah, crazy.
I love that unit.
And
I don't
thought
have
he was
him.
going to be if he was back on Beast banner. I don't know what I would have done. I really don't know.
What was he? The Tanabata?
Yeah, he was on the Tanabata. So
See,
and that's why I
he
pulled
might
the
be on
GT,
our.
or that's why I pulled the Super Saiyan
He,
Majin Buu guys from the 8th year. I finally pulled them on
oh,
that.
okay. He might be on our 9th anniversary banners then.
God, I fucking hope to God he is.
That'd be great because then I can go for. Oh man.
Because the main reason why I want to do Broly because I didn't get one Zamasu
Oh, me
for
neither.
the worldwide last year. I didn't get a single Vegito. I didn't get a Trunks. I got one future Gohan.
I mean,
Like I
he's
said,
definitely the best.
I know, but I got no. Zamasu's the best.
No. No, because his damage reduction wears off, whereas Gohan's comes back when you pop his domain. So he gets the 80%
Domain
back.
expansion. Yeah, but he has a better leader skill, and I think that team. I mean, even though they both fall under that category. I
Yeah.
don't know. Plus he's an extreme leader as well.
He's definitely more necessary for extreme.
Yeah, I think that's. Yeah, I probably should have framed it. It's just the lack of extreme units in general, kind of.
100%.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's why Broly's so good too. It's like he's disgusting
bro.
and he's an extreme. So
I can't wait.
yeah, so I get it.
I never
Oh
pulled a
man,
Bulma. I forgot about that. I never pulled that bitch.
I think
Fucking blue hair
I pulled
bitch.
I pulled one.
Fucking dirty whore.
I had to buy God Goku with coins.
Oh,
The
the physical one.
physical, yeah.
See, I have him at 2 dupes. And
He's
Link level
so good.
10. Yeah, he's a monster.
Ugh, man, he's one of those you can throw on a team. And
Yeah.
oh man,
Same thing with World Tournament Goku and Ma Junior. I have them both at 2 dupes. God, they're
oh
so
dude, Ma
fucking
Junior,
good. Bro,
holy,
he's disgusting, dude. He's a monster.
I'm doing World Tournament right now, and he just turn one active clears.
Yep.
So good. Oh
Be
man, yeah.
wiping.
You said wiping that ass. What do you guys think about?
Did you guys pull any Super Saiyan 4 Gokus?
That's right. Did you wipe your ass today?
It's always an unexpected turn when that guy pops up on my
Yeah.
fucking my
Oh,
feed, man.
I love it. It's great. What are you excited for March? St. Patty's Day, the year of my people.
Oh, the Scottish.
That's right. Indubitably.
You're gonna have a can of Guinness and a pint of haggis.
And a just a raw potato. I'm gonna just
Listen,
bite
man,
into it.
stick them, smash them, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Potato.
What are you guys gonna do with potatoes, huh? Where are you gonna stick them? What are you gonna do to them?
You know, fry them up.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed episode 29. One away from 30.
And 40 away from 69.
Oh my god.
Nice.
That's a midlife crisis away from 69. Tell us what you think about Star Wars. Are you a toxic Star Wars fan?
Yes, you are, because you're gonna say so when you comment on this video, and I can't wait.
If you are, tell us how much you hate the sequels and why.
Yeah, tell me why you think women are bad. Tell me why you think Rey doesn't deserve to be a Jedi, please.
If you're a 49er fan, tell us how angry you are.
Oh, if you're a
we'll laugh
49er
at you.
fan, go suck a dick.
That's right. And if you lost a bunch of money on a bet,
It's the only team in the NFL that matters. I thought, because I know that was mirrored. It's a whole thing, man.
and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.